Welcome back to Raiders Franchise. This is week 1 and we are setting our season goal. Now I will say, from playing on stream, from playing the preseason, all Madden difficulty feels easier than ever. Could be famous last words. The team is still not very good, right? But I think this actually might be a fairly successful year 1. I'll commit to just 7 wins. We'll get 15 staff points if we're able to do so. I don't know. This could be a series where I change the difficulty pretty quickly, and by that I mean change the sliders. As I've said, it is default all Madden difficulty, 8 minutes, but I'm thinking that it could end up being kind of easy, so a slider change to get more realistic could be in order pretty quickly. Now, I will say something that I've noticed, as I don't want to simulate the weekly strategy, but I do want to show you the overall. The overalls of like every team in the league is really not all that low. The difference between, the 15th best team and the 32nd best team, it's not really that significant. So I feel like it was really difficult to choose a bad team for a rebuild because no team is really rated that poorly. I think the lowest overall teams is 78 with the roster that I use. Now, I will say I did have to restart the franchise. I just completely spaced out, and when I was getting a screenshot for the how to scout and draft thumbnail, I just simulated to 2025 to the draft. I totally didn't even realize it was in the wrong save file, and I had to restart. But thankfully, we didn't play anything but the preseason, so that was good. I think our offense is the strongest area of the team, though, and we have Devontae Adams. The part of the offense, or the part of the defense that worries me the most, we have a lot of youth in our pass defense, I would say. So we'll see how those guys end up playing. I mean, you can kind of pick your poison, but can I be more specific? Who worries me the most? Well, I would say probably the corners in general. Choosing pass rush might actually be smart. This will probably boost our corners. But what would a successful season look like statistically? Geez, with these. I would say as a team, we give up less than 3,500 season passing yards if I had to choose. However, that could still prove to be fairly difficult. In the past, the All Madden CPU quarterback can just dice you up, regardless of who's playing QB, whether it's Nathan Peterman or Patrick Mahomes. They play about the same. We'll see if that ends up being the case for Madden 25. But we are ready for week 1. But first, we need to hire and assign scouts. This is the draft class, and it is a strong quarterback class. People always ask questions like, what are your XP sliders? What are your draft class settings? It's all standard. It is all absolutely standard. Now, could this potentially change at some point down the line? Yeah, maybe it could, and maybe that would, be better. But for right now, we start standard and make changes off that. Also, apparently, in a title update, the new passing from College Football 25 is going into the game, which is really nice. I said that it would be really cool if they added it, and people are like, it's already in the game. It's already right there. I'm like, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. And it's literally not because they're adding it now. So now I feel vindicated. I'm not as insane. But this does appear to be quite a strong QB class. It is within the strengths of the class. Corner, wide receiver, quarterback. That's a combination you get quite a lot. I almost wonder if they have it tuned up in the back end to increase QBs, wide receivers, and corners, which, I don't know, like, quarterback historically hasn't been rated all that high in Madden, but from the drafts that I've already done for 25 and seen, QB is rated maybe even higher than ever. I'm seeing a handful of 80-plus rated quarterbacks, which were previously extremely rare. And I did an entire video talking about how to scout and what you want to do. But with the amount of quarterbacks in this class, I would consider making my national scout a quarterback expertise, which I typically would not do. A 21-year-old, everyone else is 23 in this top group, and then a 20-year-old, Colby Coleman from West Virginia. A 20-year-old quarterback prospect. Very, very young compared to what you typically see in the draft. It's usually just like 21-year-olds to 23-year-olds. There is one 20-year-old in the entire draft, in fact. And no 24-year-olds, which is so strange because those exist. They need to... I know it's like, 24, it's not great. You don't want to typically draft those guys just because, you know, they're older prospects. But we see them all the time now. Well, more typically with the COVID year stuff, right? But you got to have 24-year-olds in the draft based off of what we're seeing in real life. But that's not a thing. Here in Madden land, at least, I should say. Okay, so I'm setting up the scouts like this. Alicia Trenkel, corner wide receivers, are Tier 3 national scout. In the West, we're going after quarterback and safety. Central is wide receiver and safety. Northeast is the 2-star second-tier area scout, Shelly Cannon. And that is quarterback and middle linebacker. Just a lot of QBs in the Northeast, so want to know about those. And also, linebacker is always going to be a position of need. I figure, you know, maybe not always, but, you know, it is right now, I would say. We need more speed. We need more talent. Tommy Eichenberg is like, whatever, I don't know. Maybe we can develop him. Robert Spillane is a little bit older. Divine Diablo, I'm not sure, is a long-term solution. And then we have Artie Green in the Southeast. Got wide receiver and running back going on. Just looking down the board at the region prospects, saw quite a few receivers in the mix. I'm kind of thinking more like round 2, 3 for wide receiver in this range. So went after that. There are not many top-end wide receivers in this region, but we kind of already have that covered with the National Scout and also in the Central. So it happens to be the number 1 strength of the region. Not sure how true that's going to be, but figure lean into it here in year 1. And our National Scout should really take care of a lot of it anyway. And we will hop in week 1 AFC West action. And here we go. You know, we talked about the roster a little bit in episode 1, obviously, so you guys should be somewhat familiar with the team. We're going to get a bit of a rotation going. I'm not going to be afraid to yank Gardner Minshew if he's not playing up to his standard. Some of that could come down to me. I will admit, some of it's a possibility. It's a possibility. And at running back, we will certainly have a bit of a rotation. I want, ideally, Zamir White to get most of the carries. But that doesn't mean that Alexander Madison's not going to play. In fact, he might be more of our power back, so to speak, or short yardage back, maybe I should say. But Zamir White, younger, more developable, and like kind of better to me, even though the overall says Madison's better. I don't know if I agree. But here we go, the new kickoff. That's right. Week 1, Raiders-Chargers here at SoFi in Los Angeles. I saw a game here. Chiefs and Chargers. It was week 18 of last year. This place was dead. Not really a shock. I mean, why would you go see the Chargers when they're out of the playoffs anyway? Week 18. But, yeah, Easton Stick also started that game. But, at the same time, it was only Chiefs fans, pretty much. And I don't know that that's that unusual. But, you know, we'll see. It looks like Raiders fans didn't travel extremely well here as Justin Herbert will go to the flat instantly. Marcus Epps there to make a nice tackle, but the Chargers do get 4 in the process. We need to play good defense today. Ideally, with our season goal, we need to limit what the Chargers can do on the ground. We had to answer a media question, and we guaranteed that we'd allow 3,500 yards or fewer. So that's a tough guarantee to make. And, I mean, we're going to see what we can do. But no guarantees, as that is wide open. DeCameron Richardson, the rookie, beat by second-year receiver Quentin Johnston, former first-round pick at a TCU, enjoyed, or maybe didn't enjoy, a terrible rookie season. And we'll see what happens to him in year 2, as that is a bullet from Herbert, and it switched me on to the wrong guy. I thought it would give us Nate Hobbs, gave us Trayvon Merrick, and that is a touchdown. It is another young player, the rookie Ladd McConkey, top of the second-round pick out of Georgia. Really good player. If he can stay healthy, I think he's going to end up being a really productive player. Very good route runner. Really, really good overall speed. He is a deep threat with polish as a rookie for a route runner. So seeing what he can do is going to be really, really exciting, but not for us here in Raiders franchise. That's what I was going to say, though. First year playing fantasy football in like a decade plus was last year. I ended up making a trade to get Quentin Johnston. Not for him. The trade was to get Bijan. Of course, hook him. You guys know. But kind of had to get Quentin Johnston in the deal. was the only other guy I could get. But I've recently traded him because it's Quentin Johnston. However, he still has upside. If he can stop catching with his body, the guy's still a freak athlete. But I traded him and a top of the 3rd round pick to move up into the 2nd round to get my guy Adonai Mitchell. Hook him. But not a great start for us here in Raiders franchise. Down 7-0 already. Zamir White is the tailback. We're going to give him the ball. We're going to search for space up the middle. Can't really find it. And I think that's the thing you're going to notice about our running backs. A lot of speed to be desired, we'll say. Maybe a lack of explosiveness as we're going to try to get on the move, and that was contained very well by Denzel Perryman. Never really even saw him, to be honest. This is not college football 25. We can't scramble out to buy time with Gardner Minshew the way we can with any number of fast QBs in college football 25. And we just kind of gave Perriman an easy play there. Just didn't really find anywhere to go with the football. Zamir White leaked out of the backfield instantly, but I felt like it was too late to throw that by the time we noticed it. But that's wide open. It's Jacoby Myers who jukes to the inside. Khalil Mack working down the field. The fact that he's able to make a play on Jacoby Myers there is actually out of control, unrealistic. Mack in coverage. He should be torched. I know we juke back inside. How does Khalil Mack end up making the play on Jacoby Myers there? Myers isn't exactly a burner, but that's insane that an edge rusher into his 30s, like Khalil Mack, we probably should have tried that outside. It's insane that Khalil Mack was able to make that play. Anyway, 2nd and 11. We've been talking a lot about younger players in this one. We have not yet seen Brock Bowers make a play. And that's going to be nearly intercepted, but caught by Trey Tucker. Now, I really thought he was running a drag. A little bit of a miscommunication there, and nearly intercepted as a result. I have no idea how Trey Tucker caught that. We catch a bit of a break there, literally. Open in the flat is Zamir White. He'll make one miss. Back to the inside. It's back-to-back first downs here. So we're getting cooking a little bit on offense. Don't really have much of a running game, but we could find Brock Bowers a touchdown if the Chargers bite on play action. Even if they don't, Bowers is wide open, finds a space in the zone. Touchdown, Brock Bowers. We're going to tie things up, and it's the rookie's first score. His first catch as a pro goes for 6. We knew there was a chance this was going to get wide open. I don't know what the design here looks like, maybe a cover 2. But it was just completely crushed. Cover 2 invert. And the safety with the deep half just doesn't really get close. We had a corner and a post on the field. Put that safety in conflict. The boundary corner just didn't really ever get any depth. And if he was in a cloud, obviously you want to carry that deeper if there's nothing underneath. But Bowers got wide open in the back end. And it's 7-7. That was a little dicey at first. You know, got sacked by Perriman, but we bounced back in a big way. That's just a lot of space. Tried to shoot the gap and make a play. Just couldn't quite get there in time. That's the Gus Bus. Gus Edwards being brought in from Baltimore. Very interesting change. The Chargers running back room is really interesting. I would look out for Kamani Vidal. He'd be very interesting to me. Rookie running back out of Troy. And he was good at Troy, man. So I wonder with the Chargers' current running back situation how much he's going to play. Play action, get back with Robert Spillane, going to the flat. And we just don't have the speed with Divine Diablo. If we don't have it with him, we don't have it with anybody. Chargers continue to move the ball at will here. We're going to try a bit of a man blitz. See if we can get after Justin Herbert. Wide open in the flat. Herbert just got the ball out too quickly. Jack Jones makes the play. Herbert's already got over 100 yards passing here in the first half. First quarter, even. So, I'd love to try and contain him. It's going to be difficult. Trying to get back there, and that's a touchdown. What? The change of direction with linebackers is still piss poor. Tried to get back in the play with Robert Spillane. Josh Palmer took a massive hit. Holds on through contact and scores. How do you catch that? That's classic all Madden. I mean, it doesn't get more classic all Madden than that. But it looks like we're going to be able to score some points when we're on offense, so it might be a shootout here in week 1 in Los Angeles. Bruised ribs for the rookie Tommy Eichenberg. I guess we'll substitute with Masterson for the time being. That's not ideal. The overall drop-off is fairly significant there. So I don't actually love that. How about a check down? Zamir White made that work last time. There's a spin move off the back of a juke. And we probably have one more play before the first quarter comes to an end. Could look to work off play action again. I actually don't want Bowers in blocking. I want him as a receiver here. And we're going to try to get it to him. And we do find Brock Bowers. Look at the speed for Bowers. That was going to be a tight throw. It really was going to be. There was not much of a window to deliver that football. We need Minshew to layer it in perfectly. He does. And then it's the speed of Brock Bowers to turn the corner, get up the field, get the first down, and more. That's the end of an electric first quarter. We are down 14-7. Our defense needs to play better, but I really don't have any concerns about the offense other so far than the ability to run the football. And I really don't want to run against this front either. So we're going to go ahead and audible to a pass. And I think get on the move with Minshew. They're not containing, which means Minshew has room to run. He's up the field and out at the 25. Looks like Morgan Fox in pursuit. Tackled him out of bounds. No flag. Kind of some BS, but that's all right. League doesn't want us to win. And we have yet to get the ball into the hands of arguably the biggest playmaker on the team, by the way, Davante Adams. Really haven't even looked his way. He's going to throw a fit here probably in a minute if we don't get him at target. Trying to work off play action. Saw a B there, but I think Michael Mayer's a bit of a safer throw there on 2nd and 8. So we do end up going to Michael Mayer. Maybe could have had a touchdown. I think that might have been Jacoby Myers. Could have been Trey Tucker. 3rd and 3. Tucker actually in motion. And they're giving us space, but Brock Bowers is wide open. I misread the route, and it's intercepted. It was not going to take long before I threw my first pick of the season. And known coverage linebacker Denzel Perryman gets the interception. He's having a heck of a first half with a sack and now a pick. I just didn't know the route for Bowers. I mean, there's no way around it. I thought he was going to be wide open, releasing out towards the right side of the field. Worked back up towards the left. It's just really bad timing. I got to know the route probably if I'm the quarterback. Probably got to have some idea of what it is. Didn't. Just saw him releasing into the wide open area of the field. And it turns out that wasn't the route. Although, you know what? Have some awareness of the zone, dude. Change the route. Do Travis Kelce things. Because, oh my goodness, there's so much space here. But, yeah, I just didn't realize. It's just completely my fault. I wouldn't argue anything else. I just didn't know the route. And turns out, if you're going to try to play quarterback, you might have to know the route. Could be fairly important. The change of direction with linebackers. I mean, you're completely like a fish out of water. You're dead in the water if you're trying to move with a linebacker in space. What a disaster. It's going to be 21-7 Chargers. There's no way we keep them out of the end zone here. Here's a run. Broken tackle. Down to the 1. We're going to run commit again. If they decide to go to a tight end, so be it. But we're going to try and defend it, and that is a touchdown, 21-7 Chargers. We knew there was no chance we were going to stop them. Absolutely no chance. And we don't. It's the Gus Bus rolling on into the end zone, 21-7 LA. Let's try to find Davante Adams here. Joey Bosa, if he... No! It's a disaster so far. If Joey Bosa just ran after us, by the way, if he wasn't in man coverage, which I actually think he was, which is so strange on the running back, I wanted Davante Adams here. I got the buttons confused. It seems like I'm just throwing for content, which I'd love to say that I am. Not. And again, like I've complained about this already. Why did they take the wheel route out of the hot routes on Madden this year? It makes absolutely no sense. There's Zamir White. We don't get a block from Jacoby Myers, so it was kind of the whole reason I threw that. Didn't end up happening. And now it's 3rd and 8. Let's think about these routes here. Let's actually realize what they are. I'd love to get it into the hands of Davante Adams. They played it, though. Throwing the slant. Myers! Going to be very close, but marked shy. 4th and inches from the 35. It's just... we're a bit backed up into our own end zone. Like, not entirely, but if we give the ball to the Chargers with this field position and we don't convert, I know it's inches, but just don't feel great about it, right? So we are going to go ahead and fake it. It's Mayer up the middle, powering, surging ahead, first down. Fooled everybody. Michael Mayer. Look at the heart, the determination, and the fake punt works to perfection. Let's think about these routes. I already forgot them. There's Devontae Adams. We need to get him the ball more. I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to figure it out. Look how deep the safety is. Derwin James is playing. He looks like Jabril Peppers back in Cleveland. He's 20 yards off the ball. Fairly deep. No doubles defense, so to speak. Bowers wide open. You need someone over there, and Bowers can't haul it in. The rookie typically so sure-handed. At least was at Georgia. Huge missed opportunity on a great throw from Gardner Minshew at 2nd and 10. Wow. That is a crazy miss. Work back to the football. Trey Tucker, and he drops it. That's the Trey Tucker I know. It's 3rd and 10. The Bowers drop could come in and prove to be very costly. We're going to target Bowers again. He's not going to drop that one. Got to trust him. Bowers back up the field. That takes us to the 2-minute warning. Not out of this game by any stretch, but we got to score on this drive. I mean, no question. Wide open is Zamir White. Nobody's on the running back. Zamir White getting extra yards with a little hesitation. Juke up the field. He's inside the 5. I love throwing to the running backs out of the backfield. We have Khalil Mack in coverage against Trey Tucker. If this is man coverage, it's got to be a touchdown. We just got to be able to throw that. Trey Tucker, touchdown. I know he played it fairly well. If that's a mismatch that we end up making a mistake on, I can live with it. It is Trey Tucker, a shifty, fast slot receiver, deep threat type. If Khalil Mack can cover him doing anything in the open field, it's a game issue, not a decision issue. But we get a touchdown. I mean, you just have to be able to target an edge rusher in coverage against somebody like Trey Tucker. You have to be able to take advantage of that matchup. That's the only area of the field where maybe it would even make sense. Just because there's no threat of being beat vertically, because there's no vertical space on the field. It's, you got to play defense for a max of 7 yards probably. So it ends up working out. Defense, now I need you. Who wants to make a play? The newest Raider, Christian Wilkins? Maybe that's going to be picked. Jack Jones, house call. Back in California, Jack Jones, pick 6. I believe he's from California is why I say that. I know he was an Arizona State commit that ended up transferring to USC. No, the other way around. He was a USC commit, played at USC, ends up transferring to Arizona State and playing well after I think he was kicked off the team at USC. Now I have to fact check. But either way, it's a great play. It's a pick 6, and it's a tie ball game. Yeah, USC from Long Beach, California, and transferred to Arizona State after, I believe, he mugged a Panda Express, if I remember correctly. Now I have to confirm another thing, because that's a really weird thing to get wrong if I'm wrong about that. If I said mugged a Panda Express, it sounds weird. You can mug a person, you can't really mug a Panda Express. But saying hold up a Panda Express, it's not a bank, I don't know. Arrested at a Panda Express in Santa Paula, California for commercial burglary. Pled guilty, 2nd-degree misdemeanor, served 45 days of house arrest. And then he was arrested at Boston's Logan Airport when 2 loaded guns were found in his carry-on baggage by TSA agents. But he is good at football. He might not be the smartest guy. Oh, what are these? Just a couple guns of mine for the plane in case I get bored. What are you, fucking idiot? What a great read, though, for that pick 6. Gotta love that. Yeah, it's going to be wide open. Merrick has 89 hit power. Doesn't seem to matter. McConkey shakes it off in an instant. And the Chargers are basically already in scoring position here on our side of the field. Would love a turnover. I'm going to expect that we don't find one. as Herbert continues to connect with Lad McConkey. We got to figure out a way to stop that from happening. Get out there, Spillane. It's going to be a huge play. Yeah, I mean, there's no way we stop this offense. We had a pick six. That was great. Herbert made a mistake. But, I mean, what are we supposed to do at this spot? We're playing some man coverage. We'll try that. Over the middle of the field. And that was dropped. That should be a touchdown. That was not from Marcus Epps. That's an incompletion. Maybe I don't trust man at all. We'll try zone. Throw into the end zone. Herbert just put a little bit too much on that. A little bit too early. I know you got to get that football out, but Palmer just not quite quick enough out of his break to be able to get a hand on that. Herbert on the move. Potentially, he's going to go down. And we're going to call a timeout. We might have time to answer. We'll hold the Chargers to 3, you'd expect. Although we faked it, maybe they would. 4th and 14 is an insane fake. Especially when you can guarantee yourself points with a chip shot field goal from Dicker, the kicker, Hookem. But they're going to take the lead 24-21. Very exciting first half. We have 48 seconds, probably more like 44 after the return. And we'll see if we can get in a good field position. That's not too bad. Yeah, that should be wide open, and it is! There's Jacoby Myers! Really nice play. We're actually going to call a timeout. The runoff on Madden is insane. So we really can't mess around with it too much. I like that route from Bowers, though. I know going over the middle is scary. We're going to call a timeout again. I know that seems insane. The runoff might have taken us down to 3 seconds there. So now we can't afford to go over the middle unless it's to the end zone. That's just trusting Trey Tucker. I mean, it's never really open. I wanted to throw to Jacoby Myers over the middle of the field. I just worried that he wasn't going to get into the end zone. And I know it seems crazy. Dude, you have so much time. I'm telling you, from what we've seen so far, we don't have so much time. Bowers gets out. 5th catch, 100 first half yards for Brock Bowers. And I really would like to throw a touchdown to him right here, I think. We'll see what happens. We're going to get sacked. That's going to be the first half. Can we get the field goal team out there in time? Does it only run off insanely quickly if you go hurry up? I guess the method, the meta, just don't ever go hurry up. Try to kick this field goal with Daniel Carlson to end the first half. That kick is good. It's 24-24. Very back and forth right now. Some big plays on defense. Multiple pick sixes in this game already. Or no, was Perriman caught? Perriman, I think it was actually caught. Multiple big interceptions. Multiple big offensive plays. And a tie ball game headed into the third quarter. Still in a great position to win. Got to turn it up a bit. Okay, big second half. Dylan Laube. Start us off nice. He's an interesting player. I keep comping him to Danny Woodhead. It's just a usage thing, and he's a little white guy that's like hybrid receiver running back. Not really electric speed, but he does the little things right. You know, he was someone that I was actually able to get my hands on, let me rephrase that. I was able to get my hands on his film, which is kind of like a little bizarre because he played at New Hampshire, super small school, but that's like the level of prospect he was. You know, super small school guy that was actually able to generate a lot of hype and a lot of buzz. And this was even 2 years ago. It's kind of when his name first started getting brought up as a draft prospect potentially. So he's like no joke. He could end up being quite a nice player. I don't know if he's ever going to have a super big role carved out as Jacoby Myers can't go up and get it. You know, the slot fade can be a really nice play if you have electric speed from that spot. That's just not really Jacoby Myers. So that's maybe a back shoulder type throw we need to try out, which is not what ended up happening. There's Zamir White on a screen, though. And we do just barely get the first down. I think we just streak Devontae Adams and give him a shot. It's first down. This is when you take those shots. Adams cannot reel it in. Nearly. Felt like it hit him in his hands, but the coverage was pretty good. Oh, I got to recognize here that Tucker is not running a drag. Remember, Tucker, B, not running a drag. We just got to get it out to Bowers. Oh, Derwin James lights him up. Don't really want to take too many of those hits. Derwin James is no joke. 3rd and 6. Now Tucker is running a drag. We're going to step up with Minshew, and he's going to outrun Joey Bosa. I wanted to call him Joey, and then I'm like, Nick, but it's not Nick, it's Joey Bosa. Oh, man. That's, I mean, usually a mistake I would never make, but I almost made it, and then I obviously didn't. I told you about how I almost made it. Very good story for me, like always. Those are what we can call things that should stay thoughts. Don't really need to verbalize any of that. I can be nonverbal. There's a drag. Trey Tucker looking for touchdown number 2, and he might find it. No, just shy. Trey Tucker. The agility, the quickness, we can use that. As long as Trey Tucker actually catches the ball, and he has made a nice catch in this game, also somewhat of a drop later as well. But as long as we can utilize his skill set, actually get him the football, he will be on this team. He'll serve out a role, no question. Alexander Madison looking for the end zone, and will find it apparently. The ball broke the plane. Touchdown, Alexander Madison, our short yardage back. And we are in for the score. We're going to take the lead for the first time. Are they going to review this? It is going to be reviewed. I don't know. It looked close, obviously. I wouldn't have said that was a touchdown. But you don't need the full ball to go into the full end zone, right? You need a tip of the ball to touch the goal line. That's a touchdown. That's all you need. Just breaking the plane by a centimeter is good enough, but apparently that's not what Alexander Madison did. It is 2nd and goal, as they're going to mark him short. We'll give him another chance. And this one, certainly no question about it. Madison in for the score. Not going to review that one. Although technically all scoring plays are reviewed, so I get they probably will review it. But it's not going to go to an official booth review. That is a touchdown. 31-24 offense. Unstoppable right now. This is kind of what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about with, hey, is all Madden difficulty a little bit too easy this year? I think we're seeing it in action. Changes may have to be made. I know everyone watches my series to see me complain and get mad and play badly and then tell me how bad I am. It's a classic pastime on the channel. But that's really the two things. Tell me how bad I am, like that's news, and run jokes into the ground. God, you guys are good at that. Bengals fan jokes. This isn't Falcons franchise jokes. Road to Glory series is over on the first episode jokes. Oh my goodness. Cackling the first time. And the 20,000th time. So funny still. Keep it up. 2nd and 5. RPO. Jump the route, Jack. I need jumping Jack Flash. A little bit behind there. Ladd McConkey with yet another catch. Let's press. Let's press. They might run the ball here, though. I can see this being inside zone. So we're going to try and shoot the B gap potentially with Robert Spillane. But it stays up the middle. First down. Now, in classic All Madden fashion here when we're on defense, really have not had a ton of pressure. They're going to get to the outside there. We're going to whiff with Malcolm Epps. Jack Jones makes the tackle. That looked like a clean animation. Good stuff. But we have Max Crosby, right? I don't have nobody, and I'm like, why can't we get pressure? We have Max Crosby. He is the pressure king of the NFL right now. How about get a pressure? We're drag Quentin Johnston back. That works also for now. Throwing over the middle. We have 4 Raiders in the area, but no one nearly close enough. Will Dissly, the new Charger, with the first down. He'll move the chains, putting the Chargers into the red zone. Here in the 18. Man coverage against Quentin Johnston, but we also had man coverage on the other side. That's Trayvon Merrick against the tight end. Look, not really a matchup you're too mad about, but Hayden Hurst finds the end zone. Another new Chargers tight end. They've got a lot of them. They lose Gerald Everett. They still have Parham, right? But with Hayden Hurst back in the NFL, maybe he's a contributor. Former first-round pick, obviously, although not a great one. I mean, I don't care how good he was at South Carolina. I know this is going to sound awful. I'm going to get pushback on this. I don't care how good he was at South Carolina. You cannot draft a 25-year-old tight end in the first round. I really don't care how good he was. I really don't. So it begs the question, though. It's like, well, what if it's like a generational type player in college who is old? Would you still draft him in the first round? I don't think it works out, ever. It never works. Like, Brandon Weeden was a first-round pick, right? He's 28 years old. He, just like Hayden Hurst, these are minor league baseball players and who went to play college football later. Guys that were drafted straight out of high school, right? Never played college baseball. Minor league baseball didn't work out. They went back to play football, right? They went to college. But the older prospects, you can be so good in college, it's a big jump to the NFL. A huge jump, right? So even if you're a dominant college player, how many legitimately very old, and I'll say 25 and above draft picks, how many of those guys end up working out, period? I mean, in first-round picks, they're rare. I can't think of one that has actually worked out. I mean, we can't have two routes right on top of each other. We're going to have to punt. First true punt of the game here. This will be a punt, no fake. But, I mean, I'm thinking of guys like, who are the super old great college players? Like Chris Weinke comes to mind, right? Hayden Hurst to a level. Oh, huge hit from Divine Diablo on punt cover, but can't get the fumble, goes out of bounds. I just think that, like, dominating 18 and 19-year-olds in college as a 23, 24, 25-year-old, is that really a good indicator that that's going to translate to the NFL? It typically doesn't. But obviously there is some line where the player's so good that it makes sense. I really do think it probably would have to be a QB. Like, I could see Penix working out as where it just killed in coverage again. Because he's going to have some time to develop. He does have some pretty good physical tools. If you guys watch the draft coverage, you know I'm not a huge fan of Penix as a prospect. But could totally end up working out. I mean, he's got quite a good arm. And you'll see. You never know, right? I'll never say, oh, 100% one way or another. You really never know. You don't know how a player is going to develop. You don't know how hard they're going to work. You don't know what their personality's like. You don't know if they truly want to be the best. And sometimes it's really important about the situation, right? It's not always how good they are. It's about also where they go, who is there to help them improve. And I think everyone overhypes veteran presence. It's, I think, important, but it's like, oh, he can learn from Keenan Allen or, whatever for Roma Dunze. It's going to be good to see what the day-to-day is, but I don't really think that's going to play or even typically plays the impact that kind of everybody says it does. I think it's a lot more about the environment and the coaching staff and the individual, right? 3rd and 7. Make a play over the middle. Herbert scrambling could be a problem. We're going to have to cover it. And Herbert with the air truck BS. Wild. It's like it's Ultimate Team, dude. This air truck crap. Trucks nobody. You can't lock on and get a tackle animation. That's crazy. That was a problem, I think, in Madden Online a couple years ago. I've only seen it. I haven't played Madden Online in several years. That's why it's funny. Always people go, do you want to join my league? I don't. Touchdown Chargers. Josh Palmer again. Yeah, I mean, he's been a problem so far. In the red zone, at least. McConkey overall has been the biggest threat. But the problem online, going back to that, is you would on purpose truck too early so that the game wouldn't let you lock into a tackle animation. Shoulder strain for Tyree Wilson. We're going to keep him out there. And we are now playing down in this game. Chargers take advantage with the points off the turnover, which is what I consider a punt to be. It's a turnover on downs. You're giving the ball away. It might not go down on the stat sheet as a true turnover, but you're turning the ball over, right? So the Chargers take advantage. They go up by 7. We've allowed 315 total yards, or even though, 354 total yards, 315 of them through the air. We're going to try to step up with Minshew. How they have so many guys covered downfield and then so many linebackers taking away the scramble is very impressive, but we do end up getting 9, so a huge positive for us. Amir White open. Again, so many of our routes just end up right on top of each other. The spacing is brutal. And maybe it's a timing issue, but I definitely don't like it. Play action. Again, it's the same deal. It's the same deal. I put Bowers on a drag there. I did. That's my fault. Because I wanted Bowers earlier in the route combo, obviously. Didn't end up happening earlier in the play. Davante Adams, wide open. Lob it up! Severely underthrown. Brother, get the ball out, Minshew. It's got to be a touchdown. Oh, you put too much air under it. Throw it farther. Please. Down the field. Not a lot of air under it that time. Tap the button, bullet pass anyway. Intercepted. And that could end up being the game, to be honest. Thrown to the end zone. It's picked off by Marcus Epps. What are the Chargers doing? Are they trying on purpose to throw? What are they doing in that spot? You got to try and kill our timeouts. I get it's 2nd and long, 2nd and 9. You don't really just want to force yourself into running the football, but you can guarantee points with where you are on the field. The fact that Justin Herbert has turned over the football, what the idiots are saying about him on Twitter, it's looking very true in this game. We need to take advantage. They had a spy out there. Minshew put the ball on the ground. We turned it over right back. The only thing we couldn't do was fumble. We took the chance, took the hit. Minshew couldn't hold on. Oh, my God. We took a risk, right? I totally get that. I mean, we had a hole shot on the left, but this is picked. If you don't think it's picked, it is 100% an interception. 100%. I wanted Trey Tucker, but we might have actually had that if we tried to get it out. Adams is probably picked. This probably goes straight to, who's 22? JT Woods out of Baylor, I would say. Tried to cross up and just couldn't slide because we got in an animation from behind. Is the ball coming out before the knee is down? It's like kind of out there. It's very close. Yeah, I think it's out. I don't even think it's worth it. Turnovers are reviewed anyway. It's not even getting reviewed. So it's 100% a turnover. And we had a chance. We had a chance. And we turned over the ball instantly. The laughs turned to tears in an instant. 3rd and 11. Trayvon Merrick is a deep safety. But if they run the ball, we got to shoot the gap and make a play. Merrick will give us a chance, right? We're going to go down by 2 possessions unless we can, by some miracle, block this kick. But we would very quickly need a touchdown and the onside kick. A first down obviously would have lost the game. Dicker doesn't miss those. Down by 10 with 1.5 minutes to play. It's a tough time for a fumble. You roll the dice when you take off with a QB. We look back at the play. I don't really think anything was open other than maybe Trey Tucker after we pretty much already committed to the scramble. But I knew the risks. Quarterbacks can fumble, right? Anybody can fumble, really. But quarterbacks probably have an increased risk, we'd all agree. And that might end up being the difference in the game. Tried to get it to Bowers, just a second too late. A lot of missed opportunities in this game, I think, is the story so far. Like Bowers with a drop early we made up for, but like the interception turn and then the fumble. Davante Adams down the field, like very open. That right there, because Jacoby Myers gets bumped. Once the receiver gets bumped, even though I waited for him to get open again, Gardner Minshew doesn't make any type of an adjustment, and the game thinks that the route is still perfectly on time as if he wasn't bumped, which is a killer, right? So that would have been a huge play. Instead, we get nothing. And yeah, I guess hurry up is the killer. Never do hurry up in this game if you run accelerated clock. Trey Tucker. Oh my goodness, Trey Tucker goes up and gets it. Can we turn this into a touchdown? Really needed to. Trey Tucker down to the 5. And there's no runoff here. That's so insane. It's got to be a bug or a glitch. That using hurry up takes 20 seconds off the clock. but not doing anything takes no seconds off the clock. Just insane. Minshew on the move. He's going to get in. Gardner, and that, can we get a penalty? Gardner Minshew scrambles in. I'll tell you, oh, the stanky leg from Gardner? I love scrambling with the quarterback for no reason near the goal line. Love it. I don't love it, but I do. They only rushed 3, so in theory we would have had time, but you got a lot of guys dropping back into coverage. It's already tough enough to throw in the low red zone because there's no spacing. So maybe the scramble was the right move. Our only chance is an onside. Let's go with the... I don't know what the difference is between speed and strong here. I mean, it's where they're lined up, obviously. We'll try a high kick. Slightly to the left. And we'll see if we can get a good bounce. Good attempt. I wish my guys wouldn't try to touch the ball so early. You guys don't know what an onside kick is. The ruling of it, it has to travel 10 yards. So no one from our team can touch it. Any kick in general, by the way, not just onside. Just the kickoffs in general have to go 10 yards. So no one can touch it before the 45-yard line in this case. Tommy Eichenberg. And also, I really had no idea the kick was going to go no yards. He touches it about, and look at the freaking vertical, by the way. He is 10 feet off the ground almost. I mean, at the top of his jump, that's got to be more than 10 feet. Insane. And you have like the My Heart Will Go On or some Dirty Dancing, I don't know, something. For 5 yards out and touching the ball. Gave us no chance. You got to let the ball bounce. That will be the ball game. We will drop to 0-1. Had many chances to win this game. And honestly, I don't really think we played that badly because I don't really think it was that hard. We put up 31 or 38 points, and obviously it could have been more. The fumble from Gardner Minshew is in the end what ends up losing this game, and the underthrow of Davante Adams for a touchdown, which I don't really think I can do much about. Threw a couple interceptions. One was a miscommunication, and then the other one, it was just a bad throw, which happened when you're dealing with the ratings of a Gardner Minshew. But overall, I think we played pretty well. The Chargers are a decent team. Every team in the game is decent, so I don't know what this first season's going to look like. Our defense obviously played very badly in general. Did have 2 interceptions of Herbert. Those were super weird, I would say. Minshew throws for close to 350. We had no running game at all, so I kind of abandoned that. But when you have 7 rushes for 19 yards with your lead back, that can happen. I can't just keep running the ball when we're averaging 2.7 yards per carry, and that includes a 12-yard rush. Receiving, Brock Bowers, what a guy. 9 for 126 and a touchdown. But most of those yards came in the first half. Really did not get him going in the second half at all. A lot of guys caught the football in this game. Davante Adams, just 1 catch for 11 yards. And we tried to get it to him, just gave him a couple chances. He ends up with a drop. Jacoby Myers with 2. 1 for Trey Tucker, 1 for Brock Bowers. Drops will kill you. We just didn't play all that well. We didn't have a sack in this game. They counted that as a TFL earlier. Weird. Interceptions for Jack Jones and Marcus Epps. Very strange game is kind of what I would say. Very strange. Upgrades for Marcus Epps. He's not a bad player. Had an interception in this game as well, of course. Just don't know what his long-term future is with us. It's just so tough when he's 28 years old. There's not really a lot of room for development there. There really isn't. So, Tommy Eichenberg, he will get a boost. I think we go pass coverage for him just because it's so terrible. Pursuit's already phenomenal. Tackling's in a good spot. Block shedding is not bad. His coverage is awful. So, that's a big thing we want to improve with him. But that will do it for this episode, guys. Week 1 in the books. Unfortunately, 0-1, and we'll head out to play the Baltimore Ravens, who are going to be one of the better teams we face the entire year. Might put some type of emphasis on some of these prospects in the next episode, but the scouting percentage is currently so low that we really don't know anything about these guys up to this point. Although I do know that Quentin Holmes does not look interesting to me at all. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.